We're going to do another tutorial today using Pixlr. You're going to go to the Google Classroom and there's 3 images for you to download. There's this duck here, and try doing it this way again. I'm hoping it's not blocked again. You click the open a new window and then you download here. If that's not working, you can just click here, right click and save image, but it's not going to be as high resolution. It won't look as good. So try doing it this way. If it doesn't work, then do it the other way. So we need to download all 3 of them. Just the duck, the goose, and then the pond. Get all 3 downloaded. Once you have all 3 downloaded, you're going to go to pixlr.com. You're going to click on Advanced, Open Image, and select all 3. All right, we're going to start with this duck right here. We're going to use the lasso tool, and we're going to switch to polygon, just like before. We're going to go around and select the duck. This is a curved surface. It's not nice, smooth, straight lines like the cabin was. So you're going to have to click a lot more often. So every time you see the red dot is when I'm clicking, red circle. So if we want it to be smooth at all, we have to click quite a bit. When we get down here, we're not gonna be real precise. We're just gonna kind of go around and get part of this shadow here, or the reflection. But then when I get back up here, I'm gonna go real close, make sure I'm not getting any of the extra. Just gonna finish selecting the entire duck here. All right, I'm going to copy this and press Control Z or Control C or click Edit and Copy. We're going to go to our pond, paste it in, and that is one big duck. I can use this tool right here. It is called the Arrange tool. When I click on that, I get some options. If I drag it by the corner, I make it smaller, so forth. There's also, that keeps it all nice and even, so that's kind of nice. I want to flip it though. I'm going to click this flip horizontal button. Still kind of big, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Oh, if you click on free, it doesn't keep it, the ratio the same. So we're going to keep it on fixed here. I'm going to put this duck just right here. And I'm going to fix it in a minute. I'm going to do some more stuff to it, but I'm going to go ahead and get my goose. I can close out of this tab, I don't need it. Go and do the same thing with the goose. I'm going to use the lasso tool, polygonal. I'm going to start just right here in the back of its head. I'll zoom in a little bit. It's kind of hard to see. The same thing we did with the duck. I'm going to go around it. Oops, I messed up a little bit. I'm going to show you how to fix that in just a second. So we're going to keep going around the whole goose. When I get down here to the shadow, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm just going to try to get most of it here. And then when I get back up here, I'm going to follow the duck, goose. All right, so if you messed up like I did in some places, like I kind of cut off part of his head, you'll notice up here we have a few options. we have add to selection, we have remove from selection. So if you look right here, I cut off part of his head. And right here, in some of the neck, I kind of got some extra. I don't need some of that. So first I'm going to click add to selection, or you can click this button, or it says you can just hold shift. So I can hold shift. I'm holding shift on my keyboard, and it automatically it changes to the add to selection. So I'm holding shift, I'm clicking, I'm just going around that part I kind of messed up on a little bit. And I'm just coming over here, and I added that part that I needed. You can also hold control to remove from selection. So this part right here, for example, I don't want that part selected. So I'm going to hold control, I clicked, and now I'm just kind of going around this part I don't want. And so you just kind of get the part you don't want and make a little loop. That's already not selected, so it doesn't really matter where the loop ends up. So I'm holding control again. I'm going to kind of clean this up a little bit. I'm going to hold shift and kind of get this part that's kind of messed up. So this uses control and shift to add and remove and kind of clean up some of your selection. Control, kind of getting this part, I got too much here. If you mess up, Control Z is your friend. Right here, I'm going to hold control. I don't want some of this. Alright, that's not perfect, but it's good enough for me. So I'm going to copy this again. Control C for copy. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to paste it, and that is one big goose. So I'm going to use this arrange tool. I still have it on fix because I don't want it getting all fat or whatever. I'm going to shrink it down to an appropriate size. So I don't need this layer anymore. I'm done with this. I close that. So now I have this one tab open, and this tab has 3 layers in it. It has our original background pond, it has our duck, and it has our goose. And it's important that you kind of understand how these layers work and so forth. Whichever one's on top here is which one's going to show up on top. So if I have this goose, if I want the goose to show up in front of the duck, I had them overlapping, I'm going to have the goose layer on top. If I wanted the duck layer to be on top, I just move those. If I move my background, unlock it, move this up, that wouldn't be good. It would be this picture on top of everything. Let's see those other ones I hadn't won. So I'm going to separate these back out. Move this one a little bit closer because he was a little bit bigger than he should have been. That's okay. So I'm going to fix this a little bit now. Just like we did on the cabin with some of the grass, I'm going to use the eraser tool. If I can find it here, where's my eraser tool? There it is. I'm going to lower the opacity to about 30%. And that brush size is probably okay. So I'm just going to kind of click on the edge of this. There's a sharp edge I don't really like. And I'm going to get rid of that sharp edge of the reflection. Now I'm going to lower it even more. I'm going to go to maybe 15%. I'm just going to color over all of the reflection to kind of make it blend in with the other water. And I'm just holding this the whole time. Every time you let go and click again, it's going to take another 15% off. So you can kind of, you don't want to do it too much, but something like that looks about right to me when I zoom out and everything. I'm going to do the same thing with the goose. So I'm going to zoom in. You can leave it as 15% as you want. That just means you're going to have to click it more. So I'm clicking several times. You can see me clicking to get rid of that sharp edge. All right, and now I'm going to click and hold and go over all the reflection. just to kind of get some of those colors. So as long as I'm holding here, it's not going to erase anymore. I could go over this a billion times as long as I'm still holding. But as soon as I let go and click again, I'm going to start taking more of it off. So maybe something like that. I can still see the reflection, especially if I move it. If I move it, you can see it for sure. Well, that looks pretty natural to me. And this is all we're going to do. So we're going to have, when you're finished, you'll have two ducks. You flipped one of them, so they should be facing opposite directions. Doesn't matter which one you flip, but that option was flip horizontal. So they're facing opposite directions away from each other. And we're going to save this. We're going to turn this into the Google Classroom. So File, Save, Ducks in a Pond. There's a few options here for saving. We have JPEG, which is what we'll use most of the time. PNG is useful also. PNG is mainly used for if you have transparency. So if we had just the duck after we took out the background, PNG would be useful for that. For this picture, it doesn't have any transparency. It's all one solid picture. So we're just going to use JPEG. We're going to download it. So save that. You will attach that to the Google Classroom. So you'll click the Add button. Mine looks different than yours. Click Add and attach that Ducks in the Pond JPEG.